Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nurulnajwa Zahidin. Today, I am going to explain about the anatomy of the cardiovascular system under heart chambers. Our heart have two types of chambers, which is atria and ventricle, and each of them are divided into two, which is right atrium, and right ventricle and left ventricle. So basically, we have four heart chambers. Atria is a small, thin wall chambers. This chamber will receive blood returning to heart from the circulation. Later, atria will push blood into the adjacent ventricle. Atria will receive blood from superior, inferior, vena cava, and pulmonary veins. Atria is divided into two, which is right atrium and left atrium. Right atrium will receive this deoxygenated blood from inferior and superior vena cava. It also receives coronary sinus. Upper end of the atrium projects to the left of the superior vena cava as the right auricle. Left atrium receives oxygenated blood from four pulmonary veins. Tricuspid valve will guide the passage of blood from the left atrium to the left ventricle. Ventricle covered most of the heart mass. Walls of the left ventricle is 3 times thicker than the right ventricle. Ventricle, also known as a discharging chamber, and propel blood to the pulmonary trunk. Our ventricle also divided into two, which is right ventricle and left ventricle. Right ventricle receive blood from the right atrium through tricuspid valve. Edges of the valve cusp attached to chordae tendineae, also attached below the papillary muscle. Wall of the right ventricle is thicker than the right atrium. Meanwhile, wall of the left ventricle is thicker than the right ventricle wall. Because of the thick wall, it can pump oxygenated blood at high pressure through systemic circulation. Trabeculae carneae is attached to mitral valve cusp edges. Wall of the left ventricle is thicker than wall of the right ventricle. Because of the thick wall, it can pump oxygenated blood at high pressure through systemic circulation. And trabeculae carneae attached to mitral valve cusp edges.